welcome to the first studio session of the PTY experience. Wherever you are, give a round of applause. So yeah, we have officially opened. We've gotten into the heart of the experience. And before we begin to hear from our speakers, before we bring in guest speakers, by the way, we've had our first session yesterday with the convener of the program. She might be in the studio later. It's in the works, don't worry. But before we begin to hear from our speakers, before we begin to have all the conversations that are lined up for us, we think that it is important to step back and look at the planning behind this camp. Before most people come to camp experiences, they see the program, they enjoy the program, they meet God and just enjoy, and they do not know what is going behind the scenes. So during this studio session, what we want to do is we want to talk about the journey of this camp. We want to talk about how everything was put together, what you should expect, and most importantly, we want to talk about why this year's theme is called Influence. So who are we having in the studio to have these conversations with us? We have our committee president and we have our committee vice president, two important people that are so important to the planning of this camp. So yeah, in the studio, we have Spec. Let's give him a round of applause wherever we are again. Spec is the president of the committee, and we have Daniel, who is also the vice president. Please let's give him a round of applause. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Fine.
Oh, doing very well, thank you.
Thanks for having our time. We really appreciate. So now I've introduced you in the very disrespectful way that I can. So correct me. For those who don't know you, who are you? Starting with you, Spec, of course.
All right. So
say your real name, please. Let them know your real name.
Definitely. So my name is Peculiar Agbose. I'm from Edo State, and I'm the privileged president of the Pesetas Teens and Youth Camp. People popularly call me Spec. I think that's
Spec. So let's give him a round of applause. And there is no president without a vice, and most presidents can't boast of a working vice. If you know, you know. But he has a working vice.
Oh yeah,
he has a working vice. So yeah, vice president. Please.
My name is Daniel Adikboju and I'm from Oyo State. I'm the privileged vice president to the president of Pesetas Teens and Youth Camp committee members.
So yeah, please let's give him a round of applause again. Clap for yourself. So you've tried. You deserve it. Take your flowers. If you like, go and give him one. So yeah, I want to ask you the first question. The theme of this camp is called Influence.
Yes.
Obviously. So yeah, what does it mean to you personally? Even before who you are as the president, before the planning, when you hear the word, something that's thrown around all of the time. So not thrown around all of the time, but like to people who have importance, they hold it there. So what does importance mean to you?
All right. So basically, influence is making an impact or leaving an impact on a group of people, community of individuals, just leaving a mark, something remarkable. And influence can be both sides, positive and negative. So it just means making people do things that they wouldn't normally do, or shaping the perspective of people. That was influence meant to be.
Clock it. It says shaping the perspective of people. And I really do like that. I really like that. To you, Daniel, what does influence mean to you?
To me, I would say influence is likened to probably something or someone who causes a change. And like you said, it can be a good change or a bad change. And in this current generation where we can see that there are a lot of examples of influence, and it is mostly about changing the perspective of individuals, whether a single person or a group of people.
That really, please let's give them okay. Let's give you a round of applause. Go collect all our round of applause. So yeah, let's now go into the planning and preparation journey. So I'm going to be asking you, Presido, going into the planning and preparation, when the idea of camp was first introduced, what was the vision behind it? I know you are Mama's spoke piece. You understand? For those who don't know who Mama is, don't worry. Don't worry. And a follow-up question. If you were to take us behind the scene, that you have to paint a picture, what is the plan? I've asked you how planning has been from the first time, and then now taking us behind the scene of this particular camp. What has the journey been like for you?
All right, so let me start from your first question. You asked, what's the vision behind when this camp was first introduced?
Yeah.
The major vision of the camp is to raise young adults.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of Predators as a whole is not just to raise young adults. We also raise preteens, parents. But the important thing is to raise people in society who are going to leave a positive mark, a positive impact. Because as much as yes, we are believers, we also want to reach out to other people in the world and ensure that even if we want our faith to rub off on people, but at the same time let them leave impact in the lives of others. Let them leave something good. So it's just about shaping how people behave, shaping how people think.
So that means you're trying to say
feel
that.
like
Yeah,
the theme
you
of
get
this camp
it.
actually
It's-
rhyme with
yeah, exactly,
the
to the
vision.
vision.
Yeah, you get.
Makes sense. You get it. So that makes sense. No round of applause for you because you know. So yeah, to you, Daniel. I hope I got to that. Daniel or Daniel?
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay. So to you, Daniel. When planning this preteen, so he said preteens. So that's in my head. Sorry, that's your fault. So when planning the teenagers and youth camp, what are the biggest things that you put into factor? And also, when you're putting all those things into factors, what are some challenges you've encountered and how do you overcome them?
All right. So firstly, one key thing, like you said, teenagers and youth. If you want to hold a camp for teenagers and youth, considering the fact that we are in the Gen Z era, and
That's a very
then
big goal.
that was why I laid emphasis the Gen Z era.
Quotation.
Well, I will say that to have a camp like this, you have to also put them as the primary, that they should be the primary focus of whatever you have to plan. Because you cannot have a camp and then you are doing it in a way that they cannot relate to. It's just like saying that you gather probably an American, like probably a group of American, and then they come to the gathering and then we are speaking probably Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. How do you expect them to
relate.
understand exactly? So the first thing that we actually put into place was what can we do or what are the things we can do that these people can easily relate to so that they won't just come and waste time. So that they won't just come and just spend the entire 3 days doing virtually nothing significant. So we have to do activities after activities that they can easily relate to. And I feel so far I've been seeing their engagement and the likes, and I can say that I can boldly hit my chest that for the sessions that we've had, they related to them. They felt like a connection to each of the sessions. It was not like as if they were just listening, but then they felt like, oh, this thing is speaking to me. So I feel that was the first thing that we put into the plan. Then the challenge to that is that I will say the challenge from this end is that considering the fact that we as planning committee, we plan, but then we still have to receive approval from Mama herself, the higher ups. So there are some things that we plan and then probably the way we plan it initially, then we presented it. At the same time, it does not just go beyond making it relatable to them. It has to be relatable in a good way, and then it has to cause because it can be relatable and then it's harmful.
Yes.
Exactly. So when we plan, we also carry the convener along. And one challenge I feel we mostly have is getting approval for some certain activities. Because we have to sit down, think on how to present it to Mama. Because Mama is one person that before she can accept an idea, she will first think of all the possible scenarios, both the good and the bad. And then you have to package the activity in a way that she can be 100% guaranteed that that activity is not going to be misinterpreted. I remember that for this particular one, we had a similar issue on Project Influence. before we eventually use Project Influence, we wanted to use a particular name. But when it got to our table, the first thing she said was that no, that this heading can be easily misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And we had to go back again and go on. So one thing is, the
We'll send
challenge
the name
is,
after the
no
session.
problem. The challenge is there.
Okay.
The challenge is there. But then since we've worked with her over time, we already know the challenge and we've already fashioned a solution to it. It's easy. Before we present anything, we deliberate about it. And we've also sort of have that kind of initiative. Whenever an activity is planned, before we take it to her,
Yes, we
we
are
ourselves
thinking
are already
also,
thinking
yeah,
of
yeah.
the good side and the bad side of it.
Wow.
But then, in most, let's say 25% of it, she will still see something else that you did not see.
See.
And that is where I feel that when people say what an elder sees while sitting, a younger person, if the person climb the rokochi, but people now say younger generation have drones.
Whoa, wait, I've never heard that before.
But there are some
actually.
things that drones don't see and they still see. But where I'm driving at is, we also do it in a way that we are ready to accept whatever she has to say, and then we always make it a thing to always go back to the drawing board to actually re-strategize. So when we make a decision, we don't just make the decision and finalize that, oh, she's going to accept it. We always have a backup plan. For example, now the 2 activities we're having this year, we had, I think, 2 backup plans in case she does not accept them. But then luckily for us, we presented the 4 to herself, and then she found interest in the 2, and then we went with the 2. So that is the challenge, getting approval for the activities that we want to be held in the camp. And then we found a solution to it, always going back to the drawing board and accepting the solution she brings.
That's deep, to be honest. That's really deep, because so now you with what you said, I'm not going to ask you this. Most people don't see this like behind the scenes. They only see the finished product. They just come, like you said, it's time for Project Influence. Let's project the influence. You get. Let's do the activities. You only see the finished work. So now, what is one thing that you wish that they can see happens behind the scene? Now, you just come and see it by yourself. What's that one thing that you wish they see?
I feel like one of the most important things that people need to realize is the effort that goes into planning. Whenever camp is ongoing, the participants might see we the committee, because committee members are also still participants. Just that we are the ones planning the camp, and it's like we have maybe a slightly maybe higher level than they do because we are in the planning committee, and because we're in the planning committee, they might feel like we are doing the thing that they cannot do because of the power that we hold, quote and unquote. And because of that, they might think that because we have power, we are using the power anyhow, we are using power anyhow. But they do not know that it's not just about the power, it's about the fact that what have we been doing before you guys came to camp. Coming to this before the camp starts, a day before the camp starts, it's not convenient for anybody. But we have to make sacrifices. We have to put in effort, we have to put in energy to ensure that this camp holds. Media team, for example, they have to get equipment, get cameras, sort out a lot of things. So all of these things are things that we put in place before. So if people can just see the effort and appreciate it, because sometimes our efforts are not appreciated. Not by
which one are you clamoring for? Are you clamoring to the scene to be appreciated?
Well, no. I'm just saying. No, you asked me a question.
Yeah, I know. I said if they can see,
they should just see the effort.
Okay.
As for appreciation,
wait, that means I feel like you feel that most people see, but they don't appreciate. Do you think like that?
No. Yes. I feel like yes. A little bit of that.
You have something to say?
A little bit of that.
In a way, they see.
Okay.
But then, like, to me, my mindset is whether they appreciate it or not. The appreciation Mama shows to us.
Yeah, is more than enough.
It's even more than enough.
More than enough.
So I don't feel bothered about the appreciation.
More than enough.
But one thing I want them to see is the fact that they're seeing us in camp, and then they feel like we are showing our face is strong, we're just bossing people around
Yeah,
and all.
yeah,
What I
they
want them
reason
to
to
see
it.
is the fact that the like you said, the effort we put in, the sleepless nights, the late calls,
And they also
the
have to
unplanned
understand that
calls.
pressure is also on us.
Exactly.
And so, and we try to be able to manage that pressure. And managing that pressure, we can sometimes they can sometimes be an outburst or maybe we overdo something. But one thing is important that we always at least try to rectify the issue as amicably as possible. So it's just about seeing the effort, the sleepless nights and everything that goes into the planning.
That's deep, to be honest.
And-
I don't wish to be in your shoes. I do not wish to be in your shoes. It's not that I'm running from responsibility, but
Well,
like
all participants also don't want to, because some of them that join along the way, they see it and then they confess with their mouths that it's
but
not
it's
power.
easy.
So the only thing I'll just say is that if you feel we have too much power, join the committee and see
And
how
if
it is.
you want the power, join
Come
us.
join the committee
There,
and
but
you will
just
see how
just
it
ensure that
is.
you
Just
don't
be
you don't
ready to
run
work.
after 1 year. That's it.
Oh yeah, no pressure. So if you want to join the committee, they are inviting you. Do you understand? It's free.
It's
Don't
free,
worry.
of course.
Free
It's
of
free.
charge.
Come in. So now, we've spoken about the planning, we've spoken about how you guys work behind the scene, what you want to see, and a lot of all these things. So there is no planning without execution. There's no execution without expectations. I remember interviewing Spec last year, and he mentioned something about SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, and time bound. So not relatable, realistic, and then time bound. So now that means you have it's something he works with. Your advice is something you work with. You get so for this year now, you've obviously laid down your plan. So now, what are the expectations for this camp? For every teenager coming to this camp, what do you think they should look forward to? What is one thing that they are in the camp now? For instance, they're having their session currently now while we're in the studio right now. They are there. What is one thing that you feel like they should look forward to and they should hold very dearly?
All right. For this camp edition, one thing that I will advise them, like you said, just one thing. So can I say multiple things or just one thing?
And depends, are the split needs?
All right. So one thing I will want them to hold dearly is the impartation session, because it is going to be exciting, and there is going to be a move, and then everyone is going to get something. But then you have to be focused and you have to connect. Another thing I will want them to actually look forward to is the session, the panel session, where they get to lay down their complaints, where they get to ask questions, where they get to have first time, or yes, where they get to have a front row at receiving answers, like answers to their heart cries and their heart worries, probably a challenge that they faced or a challenge they are currently facing. And one thing I've learned over time, and I think he has mentioned it in this camp, honestly speaking, a lot of people are smiling, but if you make findings,
that, yeah.
that smile is just an act. It's not like as if everything is fine, but then they are just smiling. They need someone to talk to. They have questions to ask, and then probably at home or in church, they don't have the medium, they don't have the channel to do it. But then, yeah, one thing I've learned in previous edition is you are free to ask any question, no matter how weird you think it's going to sound. You ask it. And one thing I feel Mama has done over time is that no matter the question asked, even by preteen, she does not castigate. No matter how bad it is, she first of all embrace such individual and then explain, okay, this and this and this. So I feel that they need to hold on to that panel session, because from the planning, there are a lot of people that will be there.
Amazing people.
Academically,
Yeah.
if you have academic problem, there's someone that is academically sound. And from the secret he gave me, that person, like, if you hear the person's record academically, you will know that Mama really did a good job getting this person. Someone emotional, for your emotional state, there's someone there. For the mental aspect, there's someone there. For the financial aspect, there's someone there. For the spiritual aspect, there's someone
Relationship.
there. So exactly, relationship, there's someone there. Even a counselor is there. So no matter the question you have, no matter the direction it comes from, there's definitely someone on the panel that is ready to give you an answer, and not just anyhow answer, a working answer to your problem. So I feel that I want the participant to actually be physically present, they should be mentally present, and they should be like their mind should be there so that they won't miss it. Because one thing the devil is very good at is that he knows how to bring the right distraction at the right time. Probably the time where you are expected to receive something that is going to change your mindset and your perspective on something, probably on a case or something. Then you bring something to distract you. So the mind should be there so they don't miss out on it. And one that me personally am looking forward to is Project Influence, because the planning that
Oh
went
God,
into it,
that's-
the structuring of the questions, the structuring of the case study they have to defend. No, it promises to be exciting. And on my end, I'm so much looking forward to it, and I want participants to also look forward to it because it promises to be very, very interesting and fun.
That's. I have to clap for you. Let's clap for you. Let's clap for you. We have to clap for you for now. That makes sense. So, with all these Project Influence, impartation, panel sessions, emotional counselor, and all of these things, what kind of transformation spec are you hoping to see in teenagers after this camp that you just want to see? Or what kind of transformation?
One thing about you mentioned something about Gen Z culture that we have currently. One thing about one that's popular in Gen Z is that the world has started to there's a shift in the world currently where we now make bad things look good things now look bad. You can do something that is good, but because your circle of friends are doing bad things, they will make you feel like you are the one who is in the wrong. You feel like you are the one who is the bad person in the group, or you are the only one that is doing what the right thing. So for them to be transformed, one of the things that this camp aims to teach is to learn how to segment who they want to be influenced by. Because as much as what this influence is meant to teach them who they want to be influenced by and how they can influence rightly. Because a lot of people are influencers now. Everybody can simply take a phone. You will see people will take a phone, make videos, and they're giving you medical reports of things that they didn't even study, they didn't even search for. How did they get exactly the operating trend that we had? So a lot of people are just doing things, influencing things online, and they are teaching people the wrong things. But how do you know what is wrong and what is right? That is what this camp aims to teach. So I want that to be a transformation that should happen among those people that are present in camp, and even those that might maybe watch this video later in the future. Then
You're trying to think.
there's
Imagine more.
what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I can't remember right
Okay,
now.
so let's just hold that it's a two-way street. That's what I was just trying to say. The two-way street, they have to diffuse their own influence, where they get their influence from.
Yeah, sorry.
And they
I
have
remember
to.
I was going to talk about like how they are going to influence others.
Okay,
as
how
well.
they have to
I was going to say that.
influence
So
others.
also how to, because most people do not know that something that they are doing unconsciously, it influences other people. For example, you are maybe they are TV children and you are all boys. And you as the elder one, you don't maybe respect your parents. Maybe they tell you, oh, go and get me something. You say, mommy, I'm not going. And then you grow up to be a little mature, and then you're sending your younger one to go and get you something. And when they're telling you, I'm not going to go as well. Where did they learn that thing from? Learn it from
becomes a
you.
culture in the house.
And it will not do it much more worse than you did it. Why? Because that is just how it works. If someone learns something from you, they will do it much more worse. So how do they influence people even in the right way? As much as they are going to choose who they want to be influenced by, they also have to be careful how they also want to influence others, because something very, very little can influence others as well. So that is what the transformation that I want to see in every attendee of this age.
Every single one of them. That really makes sense. So now you said something about the Gen Z culture, about how they see how there are a lot of influencers. I do not call him. I don't want to get dragged. Again, but there are too many names to talk about. So now there are many teenagers influenced by different things online. There's even, let me use myself as an example here. Growing when I was in school, I went to school to spoil. And let me just say that, like, I went to
You
school.
were caged at
Yeah,
home.
thank you very much. So, because this is Unilag, this is my house. Like, I could walk from my house to Unilag. This time, my secondary school was very, very close to. So I ran all the way to, you understand, to another state to go and school there. And then there was this particular singer that I was hearing at that time. So I lost call his name also, you get. But that time I was very, very influenced by him. I began to walk like him, dress like him. There was one time I used handout money to buy his ticket because he came to my school. He's in my school, okay? Went to buy. Do you understand? And then one thing I just realized was I was beginning to watch too many of his interviews. You understand? Because you know moments when you're so attached to somebody and then you want to know more about them. So I'm like, I want to hear what he's saying, I want to see what he's doing. And he was actually smart. He's a very smart. You know, there are some singers or people that when you hear them speak in interview, you're like, what are you saying? You get.
Yes.
But this one sounds very, very. But now there were certain things he believes in that he just talks about, and then I began to believe the same thing. I began to dress like him. Until now, my hair is still like his hair. Do you get? So now, how do these teenagers filter what they see online specifically? I'm trimming it down to what they see in the media. Do you understand? How do they streamline that house? And what conversation do you think will help them solve that problem in this camp?
Okay. So I will pick it up from the middle. How do they filter it? You see, for every individual, filtering what you take in and what you give out, it first starts from your choice. And because there's literally no way you can tell them if you want to filter it out, don't be on social media. It's virtually not possible because there are a lot of people that they use social media for impactful things. So you cannot outrightly tell them, oh, don't since you want to be careful, don't use this, don't use that. It's not going to work. But the thing is, it starts from choice. Okay, you have to first sit down and ask yourself, what do I want to get? Where am I heading to? What is my destination? What is the place that God has predestined me to be? From there, you start to know, okay, this kind of person cannot work for me. I cannot follow this kind of person. Till date, there are a lot of people online. There are a lot of influencers online I don't follow. Not because I hate them, not because I can't relate to what they are saying, but I just feel that in the long run, they don't have any value. It's more of like they make noise to me. And then it does not sit with me. For example, initially, I think 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago, when they say that somebody that listens to different genre of songs, I do, and my Spotify app can attest to it, then you will not see a single gospel song. Not because I don't go to church, not because I don't sing them, not because I don't know them, but then anytime I listen to it, I always have this feeling of, what are these people even singing? And then at some point, I start to think that, okay, this is the direction I'm heading to. If I consume much of this, not because, I'm not saying it's a sin, but then I feel like Paul said, not everything that is right is lawful. So just because everybody is doing it does not mean that you have to. So I just sat down one day and I was like, why am I consuming this thing? What have you added to me? What have I gained from this? And then I just decided in my heart that, well, let me go the gospel music side and let me just test it. And I remember very well, I started with Bidemi Olaoba. I listened to his song
The
to the
Bible
point.
says.
I listened to his song to the point that even my Spotify rap, top 5 was virtually all his song. And I'm sure that the top 20 will still be his song. Though we cannot see it, but I'm 100% sure top 20 will be his song. But where am I heading? Is that it starts with choice. Whatever we say here is just like a seed deposited in the heart. It's your choice that is now going to determine whether the seeds germinate or the
not.
seed dies. And typical example was the parable Jesus used in the Bible about a farmer that went to plant, and then some fell on the wayside, some fell on the rock, some fell on soily
Fertile ground.
fertile ground and the likes. So it depends on your choice. If you choose that you all what they say is in their pocket, no matter what they say, the seed will just be there. At the end of the day, by the time you go back to the world, the seed will die and then it will not germinate. But then at the end of the day, it has to start with choice. I'm not saying that the choice is the determining factor. There are some people that they don't make the choice, but then it just happen. They just sit one day and then they just feel a burning desire that okay, I need to go this path.
There's the Holy
But then
Spirit.
exactly at the end of the day, it still first starts with choice. You have to first choose that okay, based off the direction I'm going to, who and what do I want to be influenced by. The thing is, if you start listening, okay, if you choose that, oh, I want to be influenced by an example, I want to be influenced by Apostle Joshua. I do tell people,
That is word. Because I feel like that means there are a lot of people who go to church on Sundays and then they hear the pastor preach. It's not that the thing is not speaking to them, but they chose to block it out. That explains a lot of things now.
exactly.
That really explains a lot of things now because I'm creating scenarios in my head and I'm like,
Why do I feel like you're talking about yourself?
no. It's not a me thing. It's just I'm a guy's guy.
Yeah,
You get, you know that moment when you feel, influence is a very deep topic. My mic is hooked. Influence is a very huge topic where sometimes people don't influence you, but you also don't influence others. What do I mean by that? For instance, if you're in a room in school, in an hostel, maybe a room of 4, they can decide to be smoking in your presence. And if the smell is not choking you, you can still stay there. And that does not mean you will smoke or drink. Are they influencing you? No. Are you influencing them? No. Do you understand? But now, so what is now saying? Because I've seen a lot of things. But in my mind, so there was a time where I had this, I started dragging my friends to church. You go to church, you go to church, you go to church. They went to church, nothing changed though. Do you understand? So it is now that I now say it is because they never choose to. They never chose to. Is that English
Be
correct?
influenced.
They never chose to, not choose to be influenced. So that's why immediately you said that, it just like clicked. And then I was like, oh, it explains so many things now. Exactly. You have to permit yourself first of all. Word. So yeah, thank you very much. That really, I'm sorry if I cut you short now for maybe forget your point.
No.
But it just really like it's stuck and something. So now we're talking about the planning, looking at the vision behind the camp. So now let's bring it home. That's what I'm saying. Let's bring it back to you. So apart from Mama, the convener, and every other person working with Mama, you guys are the point guard. You are like the two-way street. You connect Mama to the people, you connect the people to Mama. You work with virtually everybody. I feel like there's nobody you don't know in this camp. You know who's coming, you know the guest, you know a lot of all of these things. So now, leading a camp of this magnitude is because you handle centurions, your numbers, it reached 200, it reached 300, like that above on a yearly basis. And it's not beans, do you understand? You're not a class captain. Even a class captain of writing just 13 names, you understand? It's a whole lot of work. So now, I'm going to be asking you this question individually.
All right.
Let's keep it short. Let's keep it.
No.
So now, for you, what has this experience taught you? What has this leadership experience taught you? And how has it impacted? Because there's now you breathe what you do. You understand? There's sometimes when there are some places where you are not originally the leader, but you are like the leader because it is now part and parcel of you. You are like, maybe for instance, you are in a committee somewhere where you are not the president, and the president is not doing what he's supposed to do. You know what to do. You get at that particular point. So, as president, as vice, I'm going to ask you first, and then immediately you stop talking. You just pick it up. What has it impacted, and how has that influenced you in your day-to-day life?
All right, thank you very much. So this is like the 4th edition. This is the 4th edition that we have.
Yes.
This is the 4th edition of our planning committee, and over time, I have grown. You can attest to the fact that the first time we started planning camp, my leadership was very very poor. I I mean controlling of anger, controlling of emotions, reacting to things because you're telling your team members to do some things and they have not done it. You remind them over and over and over again and they are still not done it and you're lashing out at them. That was what I started out with. But currently, I'm on my fourth edition with as the planning committee president. And what I'm saying, my leadership journey has grown. I have become a better leader. I learned how to control my emotions better. I've learned how to handle situations better. I've learned how to mitigate things and not escalate them.
Word.
So this has really helped me grow as a person. It has helped me become much more confident, much more courageous, and also that also includes my problem solving skills.
So now you're a project manager. Actually, it built that's a
Yes,
skill
yes,
in
you can
the corporate
actually add
market.
it to your
Yes, you can add it to your CV. They're a
Yes.
product manager.
Project manager.
And if you told them you've done 4 editions of
A program.
that means
Of course,
if
of
they want
course.
to plan, let's say, how many, not a shade, but if you go to most big companies, their staffs are just like, if a company can boast of in a branch of 70 staffs, that you work with double the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
4 times.
Sometimes 4 times the numbers. Yeah. So imagine you just take an HR course. You write
Honestly,
you
just
write
an
your
HR
CAIN
course.
exams. You become an HR. Before you know it, 2 years down the line, and you are young in the market. You are looking.
Yes.
If you notice, you say now. When that moment where they say, what's this thing that they used to say? Maybe you are 21 years old with 7 years experience. You get that with 7 years experience. Now don't you have that? Now you are 4 years into the line. Let's say maybe by the time you've done your HR course, you do the exam, blah blah blah. So let's say the 7 years experience now have complete. Now with your certificate as a young mind, they will rush you. They will like your spag.
As in-
They will rush. Do you understand now?
Yes.
You get so
Of course.
that's it. So that's project management. Just do that. That's you pay me for this. So after we'll talk. After you pay me for this.
You pay commission.
So yeah, it's over to you, Daniel.
All right.
What's as the
For me, I'll say it has helped me in public speaking because I can remember very well in 5.0. I think 5.0 was the first year we actually operated. We assembled the committee in 4.0. We started planning for 5.0. And that 5.0, I was more of like behind the scene, just chipping when I need to chip in, log in. And then whenever I need to, if they give me a task, I do it. If they need help with something, I do it. And I don't really come out to speak and all stuff like that. I don't really converse, like give out order to like participants or something. I'm just there. Probably someone is giving out the participant. I'm just standing behind the person. But then over time, I've been able to learn, pick up the skill of how to manage people, how to communicate with them, how to get to them without
crossing the line?
forcing them, without making it seem like as if we are bossing them. Like he said, and I can attest to, one thing I did not like from him when the planning committee started was the way he treats. Then, sef, I feel participant did not really feel his wrath. It was the committee that felt the wrath. And I feel that was what actually leads some committee to actually be also bossy. Because they feel if I don't get them to do it, this guy is going to shout at me. He's going to treat me in a way that I won't like. He's going to talk to me in a way that I'm going to be annoyed. So they just decide to do it the way they understand. Because then, if you do not do something, Spec will shout. Like, not just small, he's going to shout. And he's not only going to shout, he's going to like say things that you will first sit down and be like, wait, it's because I'm in planning committee with you. If it's that he's outside, if you follow me and talk like this, I'll give you head boots, something like that. But then he has actually grown, and then I've also grown. Because now I see myself actually taking on more challenges, taking on public speaking.
Like today now you're the facilitator for video
editing,
class.
exactly. In 5.0, if they have told me to do it, I would have actually run away. You probably not see me in the past. I'll just go and hide somewhere. And then when they are done, I'll come. I'll be like, but now I've grown it. Outside that, it has also helped me outside PTYC. Now, currently, in my church, when they wanted to start their media department, full, I was teaching in the children department. They had to come and pull me out from the children department to come and head the social media aspect of the church. And then have had people under me, and I've learned how to relate with them. I've known that it's not something I can force them to do. If they don't see you doing it, they will feel like as if you are just bossing them around. And then I've already made them see, even in church, that whether you do or you did not do,
Someone will do.
someone will do. If I have to do the do, I will go and do it myself. And then they know that if I tell them to go and do something, and over time, even here too, I've also learned, if you notice, if I'm talking or if I want to ask for something or if I want to tell them to do something, probably I did not remember to put the please at the ending, at the beginning. I'll always chip in the please at the end, so it will not feel like as if I'm bossing them. And then I've also learned, because in one edition, I think 7.0 or 8.0, someone was telling me that if I'm giving out instruction, that I always give it out in a way of you. And it's not like as if it comes off that I'm intentionally bossing them, but then it just, like the way I just say it feels like I'm bossing. And I know 8.0, anytime I'm always very conscious. If I want to tell them to do something, I'm always like, what can we do? How can we do it? Let's go and do it. So it has helped me know that I cannot boss people around. If I'm telling them go and do this, and then I'm just standing, it will feel like as if I'm commanding them. But then if they see you doing it, they will know that, oh, if this guy can do it, that means that I have to do it too. And then they put in the effort to actually do it also. And it has also helped me and all. And I'm just grateful to God that I had the opportunity to actually be a part of the committee, to the point of actually getting to the vice president. I built this wall brick by brick.
I built this one by brick. Please, that's so amazing. So that leads me to the next question. As you guys have been working together as president and vice since 5.0, like you said.
Yeah.
So how has it been? How's the journey been like? I think you said something already. Yeah, I was working together been over the years.
I mean, it did start off great, but
Okay.
over time.
Now I feel everybody sees you together on camp. Spec Daniel, like
over
that.
time, it has grown to be an awesome.
So what is one lesson that I'm asking this of you also.
Yeah.
What was one lesson that planning this pace setting camp, what was one lesson that you always carry with you, no matter, make it just two sentences. What was one lesson you always carry forward?
You will meet various people,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the most important skill who people can be anything at any time, and just because someone is not doing something, someone is doing something you don't want them to do, or they are not doing something you want them to do, doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad people. You do not know what state they are in at that point, so you must learn to put yourself in people's shoes. Because if someone is going through something and you don't know that they're going through something, and then you want them to do a particular thing that you don't want to do at that particular time,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not, if you, but you can, if you're able to put yourself in that, then you're able to understand that this person might not be able to do this particular thing. I'm not be able to do this at this particular time. So I should consider people. So just have consideration of people. Put yourself in people's shoes to also know, okay, how are they feeling at a particular time?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make them feel better? How do I make them feel better? How do I make them see something different or do something different at a particular time? That's what I believe I have.
You've learned so far. That's really amazing. So, Mr. Daniel.
All right, for me, one thing I've carried with me over time is that you can be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
and you are also going to be a servant. And one thing I feel Mama have actually inculcated in me is that you're a leader. That being a leader means that you are a servant first, and I put it into practice anywhere I find myself, even beyond